Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Cage Unlocked. We're here, we're ready for some more Monster of the Week down in Louisiana. But before we get to the game, let's talk about some channel things, because there have been some uh, kind of big changes. Not to get all dramatic, but some shows have moved around, and want to make sure that you are kept aware of when stuff is. So if you can't be bothered or are unable to catch us live, we do have a YouTube where we put up the VODs of all our shows, all our streams. So uh, got some free time, got years of content on there for you to check out. But for the channel, and bear in mind that as we are approaching the holidays, a lot of the upcoming shows will not be happening as people are traveling and such. For example, this is most likely the last Tuesday stream of 2022 for GGK. Um, but let's see the new show schedule. Uh, Mondays are now Red Jenny, the Dragon Age game that had been the Friday show, but now it is Monday nights at 8 o'clock Eastern. Tuesdays is still going to be either this or Squire Squad, alternating with Escape Velocity. That's at 7 o'clock Eastern. Thursdays is still Elegant Creatures, our other Monster of the Week game, on 7 o'clock Eastern on Thursdays. Friday is now a night off. There is no show on Friday, and that's because the Queer Chronicles of the Strixhaven Quartet, the D&D 5e game in the Strixhaven setting, has now moved to Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern. And Saturdays are a double feature here at GGK, as at 5 o'clock we still have Saturday night's Ward 47, the Parslings game that Wings is in. So, a couple schedule changes, but we'll always be tweeting about, well, I say always tweeting. As long as Twitter continues to be a thing, most likely, we will continue to let you know there, or you should come join our Discord, where we let you know when things are happening, including there was, I think it was sometime this week, Val put up a poll in one of our channels asking, gauging interest in a new Pokemon Nuzlocke run. So that may be something coming soon, probably especially around the holidays as people's availability changes. But I think that's it for channel stuff. I guess the next scheduled stream is going to be Thursday with the Elegant Creatures Monster of the Week game. Yeah, that should be it in terms of channel stuff. So let's go around and say who we are, what we do on the internet, and who we are in tonight's game. What order did we go in last time? Anyone remember?
I'll go first since I'm on the top. Hi, I'm LB Hackemup. You can find me at LB Hackemup on the Twitters and the Twitches. The next time my channel is going to be live isn't until next week. Well, no, okay, that's a lie. Lauren's going to be streaming on Thursday. But other than that, it's going to be a quiet week for us because of travel and holidays. Just check the Twitter for information. I'm an old person and I don't want to switch my stuff yet. So don't make me. Also, we might be starting a Patreon. Not might. We will be starting a Patreon next year. We have some fun ideas. So if you like watching us be crazy, we're going to watch some movies together and riff on them, which is what we do. And there's a drinking game that is totally for juice. But if you if you want to, that's part of it. So that's me.
All right, I'm also on the top row. Hi, I'm Alex. OMG, it's some guy on the internet. Mostly I'm here on GGK Tuesdays and Thursdays, but also over on LB's channel on Sundays in the D&D shenanigans there, though I guess do we have any more games this year? Don't think so.
No, not till the first.
Yep. Um yeah. For tonight's game, I am playing Eddie, who is the Crooked. David, you're first on the bottom row.
All right. David, you can see me on the internets on Tuesday nights here. where I run Stars Without Numbers. You can catch that next year. And tonight I will be playing the Divine, Cam, aka Cam.
All right. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com or at Danae Keener on Twitter. I am going to be playing as Agent Phillips, the professional. That's it. Hey.
All right, and as LB takes a sip from her Truly, she asked me to do the recap of last time, since if you've watched this channel ever, you know that my notes are encyclopedic. And so bear with me as I attempt to synthesize it all into a coherent summary of what happened last time. So our story takes place in Mosa, Louisiana, which is in the center of the state, next to Kisatchie National Forest, which is 4,000 acres of pine forest and bayous. Population's about 1,000 people, and it's about 15 minutes away from Alexandria, which is the closest big city. Got a police station, a small newspaper with a local pamphlet, but also handles the national news. There's a ranger station for the forest, about 20 minutes away. There's an all-in-one school, elementary all the way up through high school, that sometimes buses kids in from out of town. There's one super civic building that is library plus police station plus city council. And the mayor runs the convenience store, which I believe is called the Family Standard. I might have missed that.
Yeah.
Yep. Our group has been together for about a month. If you want to know how we all came together, you should watch the previous session. There
was a dimension hopping T-Rex.
Yes. That came after me and my crew who fabricate Bigfoot sightings. And the Blink T-Rex is the natural predator of the Bigfoot. Cam saved my bacon, as in avenging Angel, and Agent Phillips, who was observing the Bigfoot Blink T-Rex situation, now has an angel to deal with and contain. Eddie thinks that Agent Phillips is his distant cousin Phil, but we all know and are aware that Cam is an angel, a literal actual angel sent by capital G God. Back to the present. The crew that Eddie runs, currently known as the Big Feet, are working on fabricating Bigfoot sightings in the area. Everyone in town knows that it's them faking the Bigfoot sightings, but it helps drive tourism, and so, for the most part, people are fine with it. To the point that, as we are, preparing for the next shoot one day, we get a knock at the door as Officer Tact Hailstrom, who is the sheriff, the chief of police for the area, asked us to give them a little bit of help with reports of sightings of a mysterious figure in people's backyards. They thought it might be us, but we proved to them that it was not us. That we only do our sightings in the national forest. But given the lack of manpower for the constabulary, asked that we please look into this, and told us that there's been sightings of a weird figure, and also a rancid smell that accompanies the figure. As we set off to do this, which unfortunately put a pause on Cam's sword training that he was planning to run us through, we headed to a nearby neighborhood to talk with one of the witnesses of the event. This was Jacob Bush, who told us that, yes, he and his family had certainly noticed the smell and had seen fleeting glimpses of a figure in their backyard, which abuts the forest, and at one point came across a small childlike figure that was very near to the house, but fled upon close contact. He set up some cameras on Jacob's property and also went into the woods. Or before we went into the woods, as Phil and I set up cameras on the property, Cam just zipped over to have a talk with God, find out what information God might have about this issue. Didn't really get much. God, who was currently in the guise of a scruffy gentleman at a bar who really wanted to play some skee ball, told Cam to try some compassion, which Cam has now taken as a mission from God to to follow through on. But as we head into the forest, we go to the ranger shack and rent a cabin in the area. The ranger, Mutt Danson, tells us that there have been complaints about a weird smell out by the cabin, which is fine by us. Cam goes and gets the money to pay for the cabin from an evangelical church, putting some of those funds to good use. I should say a mega church, one of those churches, not just an evangelical church. So we head out into the cabin, and as the stench really only happens around nightfall, we wait. There's some talks about there's lots of discussions about theology and philosophy, and Phillips gets Cam to start listening to the audiobook of Paradise Lost, much to Cam's chagrin. But Cam is practicing compassion, and so agrees to give it a try. Eventually, once the sun has set, we start setting up cameras around the cabin and start investigating the area. Cam ends up going into the swamp and comes across some of these creatures, what seems to perhaps be a small family of them, but they duck into the swamp and disappear. Phillips is wandering around, keeping in touch with the agency, finding out what they may know about the area. And as Eddie was wandering around, he gets caught in a net as a hunter has been out in the area searching for Bigfoot. We learn that this is Simon, a known nuisance to the Rangers, but he should definitely not be out and about at this hour, and certainly should not be hunting in the national park. So we decide that for the sake of our own investigation, and given that these creatures do not appear to be hostile, that we need to take care of Simon, which Cam is hell bent on teleporting him to England. As that is apparently the most compassionate way he can think of to deal with this threat. But as we attempt to apprehend Simon, Eddie used some magic and accidentally wound up in the ethereal plane. Cam tried to teleport him, but I think lost track of him mid-teleport. Agent Phillips called in a squad from the agency to retrieve Simon and take care of that. But as Cam was, using lots of angel powers and attempting to use magic to bring me back, some switch was flipped, and Cam has temporarily gotten stuck in the form of a biblically accurate angel.
Yeah. Thank you for doing the recap. Thank you guys for hanging out with
There
us.
was a lot of chaos right at the end there.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot that happened in a very small amount of time, but thank you guys. Thanks for doing the recap, Alex. I appreciate it. So Eddie, you are stuck in you're stuck in a plane that's kind of layered on top of ours for the next like half hour or so. Cam, you are stuck in this form for another hour or so. And Phillips you're good. A plus. What do you guys want to do right now?
He's busy.
Or do you guys want to skip?
He's busy being not afraid and taking so many notes.
Do you like pull out a phone real quick and just like snap a picture?
Yeah. Yeah, just like
All right. You had called your people in to sort of swarm the area to find Simon.
Yeah.
And they are on their way to do that, but you are stuck here with Cam for the moment. And Eddie, would you guys want to try to head home? Cam, do you want to go scare some people or like
Yeah, I mean, so I guess probably I would just look to Agent Phillips and be like, all right, so I mean, is this job done? Simon's gone. Do we just go back home?
He's busy like taking notes on his phone, then he looks up and he's like, what job exactly are you talking about?
I mean,
Because if you're
whatever you
talking
guys
about-
were doing, I'm pretty sure I did what God told me to do and showed compassion. So I think that's been checked off. Unless we think the job is still going. I guess I need to ask Eddie about this. He's really the one who decides when this is done or not.
He's gonna snap his phone shut. Because it's a fold out, like it's a BlackBerry situation. He like pops it shut. If you're talking about the job that we came here to do, which would be finding whatever creature has been accosting the locals, we have made little to no progress on that particular front.
They're weird looking stinky swamp family guys. I saw them.
You saw them?
Yeah, it's like a little family of them. They just like sunk into the swamp. It seemed harmless enough. They just smell bad.
All right. Well, I think we discussed earlier that it's possible that that hunter from earlier was driving them out of their habitat. Why don't we just wait and see? We've got cameras set up.
Keep doing their thing now that the hunter's gone. Well, he might not be gone. I don't know where he is.
Oh, he's gone.
So, okay. He's probably close to Eddie's house. That's where I was trying to teleport him.
No, here, hold on. Let me check. Touches his ear. What's the status on that retrieval?
Not located yet.
We'll give it some more time.
Should I teleport back to Eddie's house and have all the guys look for him? Have the gang?
Not in your current state, no.
Why? I'm pretty upfront about being an angel.
Well,
do you think
yes,
this would...
but this is a little bit more concerning.
How so?
I am not confident that anyone aside from me would be able to witness this and not immediately lose their mind. In a literal sense. You know what I'm talking about? It wouldn't be very compassionate to drive somebody insane with your true form. Does that make any sense?
I don't know. Seems like lying. Seems like I don't. Although I suppose God did let me be something else.
I mean, humans don't disrobe in front of each other. It's just polite. He's gonna turn in a circle and look for Eddie.
I mean, that's because you all are ashamed of what you are. That's nothing to do with me.
Right, original sin and everything. Have you seen Eddie anywhere?
He disappeared. he was doing magic and he just disappeared. I don't know. He doesn't seem to exist. I can't teleport to him. So
Concerning.
again, God hasn't given me any further orders. He didn't teleport me away and say, "Here's your new mission. Eddie's dead." So I assume he'll be back.
I see. All right. Well,
He'll be back, or we'll find a way to resurrect him, or summon him, or something.
I see. How long are you going to be all of this?
I don't know. I didn't try to be this anyways. So, you want me to just stay in the forest until I'm back to normal?
That would be ideal. Yes.
All right. I'll just keep looking for the weird swamp guys, I guess.
Oh, that would be an excellent idea, actually. Don't mind me. I'm just going to follow after you and take some notes.
Just continue on. All right, if that's what you're gonna do, why don't you do me a favor and investigate a mystery?
All right.
Am I able
That
to
is
hear
plus-
them when I'm in the ethereal
Yes.
plane?
It's very echoey. So you're like part of the conversation, but you're it's just like one side of the phone call, you know. You can't
Mhm.
actually influence yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's been quite enough where Eddie is like, wait a minute, Phillips is a Men in Black.
You have not quite gotten there yet.
Yeah.
That's a 9. Okay, and a 9, hold 1.
All
You get
right.
to ask a question.
From this list, I see.
I would love it though if Eddie could like kind of interact with like things like ghosts, like a knock down a branch or something like that, throw a rock.
Or it's like, you know,
Poltergeist, so-
the flimsiest little twig on a branch, and
Yeah.
I have to like put my whole weight into it,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it just like flutters.
Oh, Let's see. I don't care about what can hurt it because I can hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I need to determine. I kind of want to look for it, but at the same time, I want to see if we should be concerned about this or not.
Okay.
I guess what can it do? I want to just learn about this.
Okay. That's awesome. So you start to maneuver your way around the swamp. And from what you have learned already and what you find on your adventure into the swamp, deeper into the swamp, you know that they're able to sort of meld into the water or the swampy bits. It's not necessarily that they are swimming in it. They are part of it because you go to the spot where they were. It's not more than like knee deep. And they were fairly medium-sized creatures. You know that they have a great stench when they are above the water. Their forms seem to be camouflage in a lot of ways. They were able to communicate with each other in a without speaking, and they didn't seem to be able to understand you when you were speaking to them. Let's see what else I can give you at this point. They did just seem to be like humanoid in that they have 4 limbs and a body. And they seem to have some, from your interaction, they seem to have maybe some sort of familial structure or protection of each other, some sort of group-like behavior, because the child, the smallest one, disappeared first, and then the other 2, but they did not seem to advance on you, more so run away, and it was just you. So it was 3-on-1, and they decided to back away as opposed to taking you on. That good?
Yeah.
Any follow-ups?
No, so I mean, I don't see any evidence so far that they're dangerous, really.
From what you've seen so far, they're just very smelly.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I don't searching the swamps. I don't find like a half-eaten deer or anything like that?
No, you find a couple more traps that Simon had set. But
Alright.
especially this area, I would actually probably you see if you're like really like doing like hunting gathering sort of like looking, you notice that there are a lot more animals down here, which is kind of odd to where the area is, as opposed to like it's right by humans, by homes, and usually this national forest is very large. So usually most of the animals, the creatures will be more towards the center where there isn't any human interaction. And there seems to be a lot more activity down here for whatever reason.
Oh. So it's not just the swamp guys getting chased away. Oh, maybe there's a worse monster, you guys. Maybe it's not
more
Simon.
twisty to this mystery.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna teleport. I'm gonna try and teleport back to Eddie.
Yeah,
that
by
doesn't
this
work.
point, Eddie, you have are you following them?
Yeah, would have been following them.
Mhm.
I don't know if maybe like in this form I'm floating above the water, or like how that works. If
Yeah.
I'm
I imagine that when Cam you go to teleport to Eddie, you just find yourself behind the group. And,
Okay.
and yeah, Eddie's just there.
Oh, Eddie.
oh, hey, you don't sound like you've got an echo anymore. That's good.
No, yeah, you disappeared. We've been not looking for you, but
Oh yeah, no, I know I've been here. But I also, I went or I didn't go anywhere, but also like all the color went away and the sound kind of went away and got weird and like I was kind of like a ghost, but
mhm.
also not.
Sounds like a good time.
It was interesting, but you know, uh, don't really want to do that again anytime soon. Certainly a neat trick, but it wasn't what I tried to do.
Interesting. Yeah, we're existing somewhere beyond mortal senses, and apparently beyond my normal senses. So that's fun. Maybe I can
It's
only sense your normal mortal stuff right now. I don't.
I don't know.
Anyways, weird swamp guys. Did you? So there's a lot of animals here. Think there might be worse things in the center than weird swamp guys. And Simon, also maybe something worse than Simon. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Hmm. Well, looks at watch. Probably probably about all we should do tonight. I mean, I know we've got you around, but still need sleep. You sleep, Cam?
No.
Ah, well, Phil and I do need sleep, and so we should probably get
Hmm.
back to the cabin, and I guess we'll go deeper into the forest tomorrow.
Do you want me to steal Simon's traps that we found, or should I just destroy them? Would you like me to bring them to your house? Is what I'm asking.
Uh, hmm. Trying to think if he would be the kind to come after us for stealing them.
I mean, if we find him, I'm going to take him to London. I'm done with bargaining with him, trying to show him Bigfoot.
Right, yeah, okay. Um yeah, don't really want him seeing the inner workings of the operation. So probably for the best that didn't work out. Um yeah, I mean, let's take his stuff. I mean, but if you get him to England by the time he gets back here, it's going to be a while and you know, then maybe we can give him his stuff back, but we'll put it to better use in the meantime.
All right, and I'll just disappear and start stealing any of the traps I find, or that I already found. And at some point, I'll probably like appear back in front of them with like a bear trap or something, and just be like, "Oh, and I guess I'll meet you back at your place. I probably shouldn't teleport you." So,
Yeah, no, I think probably just gonna walk back to the cabin.
oh, you're staying at the cabin.
I mean,
Got
we
it.
we rented it, and something might happen tonight, and we can review the footage there just as well as we can back home.
Do you want the traps at the cabin or at your place?
Maybe at the cabin, because if there is going to be bigger beastie in the forest, we may want to have it on hand.
All right. Yeah, take the couple of traps I found to the cabin then, and just be waiting for them at the cabin.
All right. Sounds
Still
good.
biblical angel, right?
Well, after an hour, it would go
Okay.
away. Yeah.
So by the time you get back to the cabin, I'm normal.
Yes. Just a dude again.
As normal as you get.
Right?
Mhm.
All right. So you guys make your way back to the cabin. Spend the night. Is there anything else you want to do for the evening?
I'll check in periodically
Mhm.
and see if Simon got picked up eventually.
Yes, at about, I would say, 2 a.m., you get a message that Simon has been found. Swimming in the Thames. He has been taken in for questioning.
He's been retrieved and
Sure
he'll be
has.
debriefed.
Poor Simon. He's so afraid the government was after him.
Don't worry, it's
Turns
not the
out-
government.
Yeah, right. Turns out it wasn't the government he needed to be worried about. Okay. All right, next morning. What do you guys want to do?
I mean, probably check the footage from overnight,
Mhm.
see if anything noteworthy happened.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you yeah, going through the footage, you see you see a lot of y'all walking around for a bit, and then kind of in the distance there is a figure that comes about probably like 3 a.m. Um a small like moss covered thing. Um and you can see sort of in the distance one of the larger one is watching, and you see as this little figure comes into the yard, it like walks cautiously, very very cautiously over to a um a soccer ball that has been left out, and you see him kind of play with it a little bit, and then like kick it back into the woods, and the other one picks it up and they both move back into the woods.
That was just adorable. You know, most adorable little theft I ever did see. Like when a raccoon comes and takes, something out of your hands.
Wait, you should not let raccoons approach you, Eddie. They have rabies. They almost all have rabies.
I mean, I haven't ever encountered a raccoon, but or not that close, but you see videos of them on the internet, and these ones seem like pets, or I don't know. They, they might have rabies. Who knows? Um, I'll have to show you some of those videos later.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Well, I mean, I figure we should just head into the woods, or I guess maybe we could check in with the rangers, see what they know about weird wildlife patterns, if
Oh
they
yeah,
can
and
help direct us towards where we might want to go.
if there's anywhere we should check towards the center of the park.
Okay. So you guys want to go talk? I'm sorry, you guys want to go talk to Mutt? Okay. You guys head over back to the ranger station. When you arrive, it is a bit of a ruckus. There is you see one ranger running out, and then another moving out as well. There is one ranger left behind the desk, sort of like, all right, be safe. And you see her tag reads Anna. And she kind of looks at you guys and she said, I'm sorry, y'all. Is there something I can do for you?
Yeah, Anna, hopefully you can help us. We're renting one of the cabins over yonder. And there was a lot more no critter sounds last night than we were expecting. You know anything about, is there a migration happening or something?
I don't. I'm not certain. There's been a bit of a development. Yeah, you guys. You said you're staying in the park.
For I think we have 2 more days.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to cut your stay short. There's been an incident. A
Oh
bit
dear.
further north. So we're asking everyone to sort of pack up and take off today.
Uh, we can do that. Is it anything to be concerned about?
Well, no. It seems to be a pretty nasty animal attack.
Oh, did it get a person?
Yeah.
It wasn't Mutt, was it?
No, Mutt's up there handling things right now, but no, he was very safe.
Mutt's up there?
Yeah, he's helping the chief of police with the investigation. They're talking about calling in the FBI if it gets any worse.
FBI, is it really all that serious?
Well, it is, national land, so the local sheriffs tend to need help if something happens like this. Plus, we'll have to call in the national wildlife people.
Well, that is a darn shame. When do you need us out of the park by?
Well, as soon as possible. Can't stay another night, really.
Right. Well, that is a
Oh.
shame. So you don't worry about giving us back, our extra, our deposit, as we said to your colleague when we made the payment, that we are big patrons of the park.
Very kind of you. Thank you for understanding. It's been quite the morning.
Of course, yeah.
It wasn't anyone you knew that got eaten by an
No,
animal, was it?
I'm not certain. It wasn't any of the rangers, as far as I'm aware. But I don't know who it was. They found him about an hour ago, so they're sort of pulling him out.
Hmm. All right.
Okay.
Lovely talking to you, Anna.
Thank you. Thank you all for being so understanding.
All right.
You guys leave the ranger station.
Yep, and immediately head north.
I'm gonna teleport. I'm gonna teleport to Mutt.
Yeah, I figured.
I know.
All right.
Well, I guess I don't know Mutt very well, do I? I can't tell. I have to know you well.
I wouldn't say you don't know much about him.
Yeah, I have to. Let me read it again.
Yeah.
Is it or a person you know well? Yeah, I don't know him well enough. I can't tell.
No.
Okay, I'll go in the car.
Unfortunately, our favorite character, which I can't remember. Did I give him a southern accent in this game?
Probably. I mean, for the most part, most people except for Cam and Phillips have had southern accents.
That's true. Okay. All right. You guys are heading north to the crime scene?
Yeah, as best we can. Because, obviously we weren't going to ask, and where exactly did this attack happen?
Yeah. What road should I take? You do find a road that is blocked off. There is a police officer that I think you guys would know, because there's only like 3 police officers in town. Alan, who's the one who handles the handles all the computer stuff, but also is here because all hands on deck. He kind of like waves you guys to keep going, sort of thing.
I would slow down and roll down the window as we approach.
Sorry, you guys got to keep moving.
Alan, what happened?
Oh, there's been an accident,
An accident?
a death, some sort of. I can't really talk about an open investigation. At least I've told I need to stop telling people about open investigations.
There's a murderer on the loose? Alan,
Wait,
you have
what?
to
No,
tell
it-
us.
It's
If there's a
probably no.
murderer.
It's definitely probably mostly an animal attack.
You're afraid we'll let the animal know we were on to him.
I think that sounds right.
All right. Sorry, Alan. I was trying to joke around about that. But it seems you didn't get it. No, there's no point in hiding what's happening from us if it was an animal attack. So you should just tell us. Is what I was
okay.
implying.
There was an animal attack.
All right. We can just go through?
No, this is an active crime scene. We have to collect data and clues and stuff like that.
Well, you do know that Tact asked us to help out the other day, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was gonna go because he thought you guys were like pulling some stunts down in the south. Yeah. And then he gave me some stuff. I wasn't actually able to go through the footage yet because it got really busy. But I know that he was talking to you guys, and they told me to go through the footage.
Right. Yeah. Well, he was, obviously the terrible tragedy had not happened yet, but I have a feeling that this may be related to what he asked us to look into, and so it would probably save us all a fair bit of time if you let us through to go talk to him. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to go back to town and wait for you all to get back, and then we're just gonna have to
Right.
come back out here.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, no, that totally, yeah, okay. So, yeah, just and you see him like move the wooden thing out of the way. Just go on through.
Thank you kindly, Alan, and you might want to check the footage at 13 minutes in. Got some good trail cam footage in there as we were setting up.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. I probably, won't be getting to it for a while because of the death, but okay, bye. I just slim in my notes for him. He's like basically knows nothing about anything. Basically unaware of basically everything.
Sometimes you just need a guy like that.
Yeah. You guys start to drive up the trail. This is a very it's a swampy road, so there's like not swampy road, there's very wet road. There's some logs that are in places across the way, so that you have to kind of like maneuver your little Jeep across these little, otherwise you're gonna get stuck in the mud and have your one tire just go. And but you guys get to a sort of a small clearing where there's 2 ranger cars and a cop car, and you see Mutt sort of standing talking to, and there's a coroner car talking to Tact, and they're kind of just like both arms crossed looking, and Tact like clocks you guys. Just, you see him just go and like starts walking over to your car. Now, what in the Sam hell y'all doing here?
Good morning to you too, Tact. Heard that something happened, and got a suspicion this might have something to do with what you asked us to look into.
All right, well, what have you found?
Well, there seems to be something out in the swamp. We got some footage of it that we can show you later. And definitely causing the stink, but based on our experience with them thus far, they would not be the kind to attack somebody. But we think that they that maybe they lived around here, and whatever did this scared them away.
So you think that the the you found a creature. What kind of critter is it?
I don't know.
It's not a person stalking in the woods. It's some
Well, there
bear or
was one of
something?
them, but he's not a problem. We scared him off. Um, but no, it's I mean the small one was like what, raccoon sized or something, maybe big as a kid,
Yeah, more like a
Okay.
kid.
but not actually a kid.
Okay.
Uh, Look, I know this sounds weird, but we got the video footage that we can show you later. But yeah, anyway, we don't think it's the stinky monsters, but we think the stinky monsters lived here, and got scared away by probably whatever did this.
Well, then that is useful information.
Can we see the body now?
No. This is an active crime scene. We can't be having you guys looking at just anything. I asked you to investigate, and you investigated. You got some proof of what's going on down there, and this needs to be handled by the professionals.
Right, but
And
until this
that's
gets
you?
handled, the stinky monsters are gonna keep showing up in people's backyards.
Well, if this keeps happening, then I think stinky monsters are going to be the worst of our, or the least of our problems.
All right. And so while we wait for the professionals to get here, can we go look at the body?
Who are you?
I'm Cam.
Eddie.
Right, Cam's people skills aren't the greatest, but you know he does have some valuable insight that he can provide. And you know my cousin Phil, he's got that college learning, might be able to offer some input here.
All right, I'm going to have you manipulate someone.
And do I'd open my sheet. What I should do.
How dare you?
Yep. Oh right, I forgot how much I failed last time. I
Right?
can almost level
it was
up.
a time.
Yep. But manipulate someone is a charm roll. Well, unless someone wants to help me, that's enough for me to level up.
Yeah, someone can definitely help.
Phil?
Yeah, I'd like
Phil?
to assist.
There is a help out to move. It would be a
Okay.
plus cool.
Oh, I'm so good at cool. Why do I only play like buffing characters on this channel? I'm like a dad in the other one.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's do that. 9 mixed success on a help out.
Or you give them a +1. But you also expose yourself to trouble or danger.
All right, I think I know exactly how this turns out.
Tell me.
Like Eddie's clearly like it's clearly not working. And Phil just kind of sighs, leans forward, rolls down the window, and says, excuse me, sir.
Yes.
He's gonna flash like a badge of some persuasion. He doesn't give him enough time to actually like look at it. And he's gonna say, shit, what kind of fucking lie do I tell here? Okay. Actually happened to work with some feds up in Washington. I might be able to help with getting some paperwork together. I know that that's not necessarily something that you'd be very interested in doing, and I happen to be really good at it. So,
Oh, so you'd be able to give us some resources?
essentially, yes.
Well, why didn't you start with that? Get home.
I mean,
now,
I
you
know that you're gonna
dog.
get the FBI out here eventually, so I be able to help format things in a way that they are going to be expecting.
Of course. All right, go on. Come on out. The coroner's just packed him up, and you see the coroner's got like this like all wheel, not all wheel drive, but there's like there's mud
All-terrain
tires
gurney.
on this, yeah. This gurney as he is wheeling it out with the body bag on top. He said, "Oh, hold on a second. Let me double check. Hold on a second, Connor. You mind just holding up a second?" And you see Connor is a fairly attractive sort of twink of a man. A little bit of beard, stubbly beard on him, really great hair. Somehow like not dirty at all after tracking through this mud. He's got like mud boots on, but like the rest of his suit is pretty pristine. And you see him like about to go move to the other side, and he goes, "Okay," and he like moves to the front of the body and looks at all of you and like looks to Tact. Tact gives a nod, and you see him unzip the body. It is fairly waterlogged at this point, a little bloated. There's a lot of goop on it and muck and a couple pieces of seaweed that haven't been pulled away, but it is pretty gnarly. Would someone like to roll to investigate this mystery?
What is that plus?
That's sharp.
Yes.
I have a +0.
Got a +1. That
I got a +1. We're both about the same.
feels more like a Phillips roll, though. I don't know how much experience Eddie has with bodies.
Well, he did say that he was going to do some paperwork here, so
Mm-hmm.
he has to at least make it look like he's going to do that.
Mhm.
Let's give it a go. I'm hitting the button. I'm hitting the other button that I also have to hit.
Hot damn.
I
That's
got
a 10.
I don't think I've failed ever.
Well, now that you've said that,
Just as you don't flatulate.
doesn't
It's true.
fail.
I do
Add
not.
it to the notes.
Flatulation requires failure. Or does failure require flatulation?
I don't
hard to
want to
know.
set this. I don't want to set this precedent. The first time that he fails a roll is going to be the time that he farts
Just
for
a-
the first time in his life, and he's going to be like, "Oh God, what's
What was
happening? I'm
that?"
dying."
It's like
that?
a dog that farts himself awake.
Yeah. Or Captain Hammer experiencing pain for the first time. Is
Oh,
this what
yeah.
a fart is? Oh God.
Why do
All right,
people
you
do
get two
this?
questions. You can either ask from the list or you can ask something simple and similar.
Okay. I'm gonna say, what sort of creature is it?
All right, good question. So you start to examine the body a little bit, and Connor is going to let you know. After cleaning the body off a little bit, you could see that there are definitely puncture wounds. You see, what look to be animal bites. There are at least two large bite marks, two large punctures that go in on one side as well as the other. Sort of one hit in the chest, one hit like upper thigh and hip area. There doesn't seem to be a lot of smaller teeth involved. The two large puncture wounds are pretty much it as far as just double check. Yeah. So there's just basically the two on the top and then some small little ones kind of in between.
All right. And I get a second question.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and also you can see that there's been a lot of breakage in those spots. So whatever it is, sharp and crushing.
Okay. So that was, what sort of creature is it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to I know which questions would be helpful to us. I'm trying to ask questions that would be relevant to looking at a body.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, what is being concealed here?
Ooh, good question. I think maybe you do this thing where you kind of like look at the wounds and then you go, does anyone have a water bottle? And Tact kind of pulls up his, bottle of water. No, he puts it back and he says, hey, Mutt, you got a bottle of water? And he pulls out his canteen and pour the water on it, and you see that because
Poor
of course
Mutt.
Tact wouldn't have water in his canteen. What are you guys thinking? You see him pour water on the wound, and there is not only bruising from it being crushed, but also some splintering sort of veins coming out of it, as if it
Interesting.
perhaps was poisoned.
Oh, okay. All right. He's going to quickly write up some paperwork that because he said he was going to. And he'll hand it over to Tact. And the danger, quote unquote, that he reveals himself to could possibly be if an FBI agent actually gets a hold of this paperwork, he's gonna be like, this
That's
ain't
not an
shit.
agent.
Like,
this yeah. As you're filling out the paperwork and talking to Tact, that another ranger comes out and says, "We found another body." And you guys all maneuver your way into this really thick sort of area. And as you it takes you a little while to get back out to, there's one ranger waiting. You see that there is a boat. And in the boat, there is like a very small motor. It's kind of hard to maneuver through this. So it would be a motor that was used for like propulsion. And then you would steer through the trees and muck and all that. But in the boat, there is a bag and another body. And the other body has not been in the swamp. So it is a little bit better preserved. It's still old. And from what Connor, like as he does the needle in the gut thing, he'll let you know that this one might have been killed around the same time. Maybe with the waterlog, it's hard to tell. But maybe around the same time, maybe later, or like more recently killed. And as you're looking at it, you see not only the two bite marks, not in the same positions, but there are 3 instead of 2. And you can see more clearly on this one the spreading of the veins, the darkness in the veins. And Tack's just like,
how big are the puncture wounds? You said they're big.
Yeah, so like width-wise, like probably Sharpie, like a Sharpie pen.
Okay.
And they're probably about 4 inches apart.
And do we know how deep they went in, or is it like really long teeth, or is it?
If you stick your
I'll stick my finger in.
Okay.
Doubting Thomas.
Yeah, as somebody as quickly distracts everyone as you stick your finger in. It probably goes to about, all the way up to your knuckle, all the way up to your hand.
Does it feel like it could go deeper?
No, that's about it.
Okay. Well, we got some rangers here. Do you guys know anything about these kind of bite marks?
They kind of look at each other and they but Mutt says, I mean, all I can think is they look like, I mean, we don't have any, like I've only seen something like this in like an anaconda bite. But
like a giant
they
snake.
would have eaten it. Right, but they would have eaten. They don't bite and let go. They would swallow them. As far as I'm aware, they don't really do that. Plus, there aren't any anacondas in Louisiana.
Is there any indication that there was any sort of feeding on this?
Nope, just bites.
just bites.
What's
This
in the? You
could
said there's a
be-
bag on the boat. I'm gonna look in the
Mhm.
bag.
Yeah, in the bag. Sorry, I was looking. Oh, yep, there are anacondas, and never mind, I lied. This seems like a very big anaconda for this area. He attacked, opens, puts on some gloves, because and doesn't do the thing where he takes the glove in his hand and like picks things up instead of just putting the fucking glove on. The worst thing about modern day
Procedural
and
crime
procedural,
dramas.
just fucking put the glove on.
It's because
But
they
it
don't.
feels
They don't want him to
icky.
have to sit there and fuss
Like,
with the
finagle it,
glove.
yeah.
I don't give a shit. It looks so stupid if you know
Yeah,
anything about.
I agree.
Anyways, so he puts on a glove, opens the zipper, and you see there is a powdery substance inside in packs. Oh, he's like, oh
Phillips
God, the
tastes it.
paperwork for this is just gonna be the. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not how you do it. He's gonna. He kind of looks back to one of the. All right, we're gonna need a drug kit. Take pictures. Don't touch anything. We're gonna have to identify these people. Phillips, you said you could use your. Could you take a picture and see if you can run it through facial recognition?
What exactly do you think I'm capable of? I said I could do paperwork.
Well, I'm just if you could send it to your people so that they can. I'm not thinking you have it on your phone, but like take a picture of the face since this one is not bloated from the water. I don't have we don't have those finger scanners here or anything like that.
Right. I'll see what I can do.
I mean, we can take pictures, right? My impression was that the finger scanner thing isn't real, right? Isn't that just something made up for TV? Don't you still aren't fingerprints
Not in my world,
notoriously
David.
nonsense?
Not in my world. It works, damn it. Don't crush my dreams. And the facial recognition takes 3 hours at the most.
Zoom, enhance.
Two people typing on the same keyboard.
Okay, that's where I draw the line. All right. All right. Yeah. He's going to ask you guys to, like, if there's any other questions you have, but he's pretty much like, can you guys just, there's a lot more that we have to do now. Can you please go away for a while?
Yeah. As Phillips finishes up the stuff that he was asked to do, he's going to sort of wander over to Eddie and say, I am not a Fed.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you never mentioned working for the feds before.
No, that's called lying. I lied just then. We could be in some trouble.
Well, I get that now. I just didn't really think you were the lion type. Usually that's my job. Where'd you get that badge that you flashed? I mean, I've got a collection of some that I haven't used in a while, so they might not stand up to scrutiny anymore, but
It's my AAA card.
ah,
It does say AAA on it.
are you some like secret platinum tier member of AAA? That's a hell of a lot fancier than my AAA card.
That's where I work. Puts it away.
Work for AAA?
Yeah.
Huh. We're gonna have to sit down and have some beers and actually talk about like what you been up to at
You
some
don't ask
point.
any questions.
Nope, fair point. Yeah, I guess. Not
This has just gotten a lot more serious. This isn't just stinky teddy bears in the woods. These creatures seem territorial. They aren't hunting for food, which means that they could kill again, and soon.
right. Yeah, no, we should probably get back home. Can confer with the big feet, see if they have ideas, because kind of make sure that we're out of earshot from the rangers who don't seem to be in the know about the grift. But we haven't always just done Bigfoot. We've done other cryptids before, but I can't think of anything that might be like this, but maybe one of the others knows.
All
We
right.
could just hang around here and wait for it to attack us. Just stay in a group. Then I can just kill it with a sword.
I don't think that the others, they're gonna let us do that, and I imagine they'll,
Who?
attacked in the others. Now that there are drugs involved, it is going to be a bit
Mhm.
harder for us to just talk our way in through here.
Mhm.
Would a bribe of some fashion help?
I mean, it's hard to tell.
I could ask them.
No, you don't just ask them about that. See, if you're gonna sweeten up an officer of the law, typically want to do it over a prolonged period of time. Not to say that I've been bribing tack by any means, but been here a few months, been building a relationship. Certainly allows me and the big feet a bit more leeway in some things than we might otherwise be allowed. But I get the sense, and voice in the sky LB, tell me if I'm wrong. I get the sense that Tact might take offense to being offered a bribe and would make it a lot harder for us
Yeah.
to go about doing things.
We're
Yeah.
on thin ice with tact anyhow.
Yeah. He's got a lot on his plate right now, and now even more. He was like, okay, you guys can handle this stinky swamp, but like this is kind of a lot. So, but if you prove yourselves to be useful, or if you convince him in other ways to, that this is the hardest thing is going to be convincing
In other ways.
in other ways, that you're gonna have to convince a normie that monsters are real, and not
I
do it
mean-
in a condescending way, Cam.
I can just
He
teleport
doesn't
him
seem to
somewhere.
like that. All right.
Yeah, I think that could be something that occurs to Phillips, and he'll sigh again. He'll look over at Eddie and say, "These people have no idea what they're dealing with."
I'm supposed to be compassionate. I feel like if I leave them here to get eaten by a giant snake monster, well, I'm sorry, not eaten, just killed by one.
Right.
Why
no.
don't? All right, we need to divide and conquer here. Cam, why don't you take Eddie back to the Big Feet? I'll stay here until you get back, and if anything goes wrong, we'll both be able to do something about it.
I feel like it should be the opposite, because if I take him, he might just disappear randomly somewhere where I don't want him to. Right, if I teleport him back. And so, but if you guys both go, I can just always appear wherever you are. And I can stay here and harass these guys.
I don't have the utmost of confidence in your ability to extract information out of the Big Feet.
No, you guys go to the Big Feet. I would stay here.
Oh, sorry, that was a wings mix-up.
I mean, I guess it's just I feel fairly confident that the folks here are going to be able to keep themselves alive. So I don't know that we need to worry about them. It's more about figuring out how we're going to get back out here to deal with it, but we need to figure out what we're dealing with first.
It's true, and you guys can't contact me. I would have to just periodically teleport back to you and ask for updates.
Do you guys have phones?
Yeah,
I don't.
I was sitting here thinking like, do we have time to teach Cam how to use a phone?
All he has to do is answer it.
We can decide how we want, but I just had this fun image in my head of like trying to teach Cam about phones and like him hearing like, okay, now I'm gonna call you and pick up in like a minute, and just going into the other room, and then when Cam hears Eddie through the phone, just like throwing the phone against the wall, witchcraft or something.
He just well, the phone rings and he just teleports to Eddie. Like, what do you need?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was my thought. I just see the caller ID and just appear in front of him. Be like, what's
Yeah.
up?
Just like no matter how many times we try and train you out of that.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's speak out of character. What should we best do? What is the best thing to do here? I don't think Phillips trusts Cam to be left alone with normal people.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be unsupervised.
Out of character, if someone's going to be left in the dangerous place, I would like it to be Cam, since he can just teleport away. He's not in any real danger, and his sword can hurt literally anything. Everything is weak to his sword.
Out of
But-
character, if anybody's going to be left in the dangerous place, I want it to be Phillips, because I like to see a noodle of a man get whacked against a tree.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Eddie is probably somehow the most likely to find himself in the dangerous situation.
It's true.
I mean,
Watch us send Eddie back, and then this creature just shows up with the big feet.
Yeah.
Mhm.
so-
They're all already dead. They got killed
Oh,
by
no!
the Naga.
no.
The were anaconda. They got
Yeah.
him.
Where anaconda?
Okay, guys, I'm changing it. I'm changing it.
Um, but no. So for now, Eddie wants to go back and confer with the group, but then is very much like, we need to take care of this. One, because it'll help make us look good with tact. Two, it is tangentially affecting our own operation. And three, like, if this thing does attack people, like, it might get us during a photo shoot or something. And so we need to, deal with that. So very much
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
just very much does want to deal with it, but is not in we need to hunt it right this minute mindset yet. Wants to figure out what it is first.
Cam has found a thing to kill and is ready to kill it. He doesn't care much else. He's pretty sure he knows what's going on now. The compassion is don't kill the little smelly guys. Kill the thing that's after him.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of character, I'm fine with whatever split goes down.
Yeah.
All right. Is it reasonable to have Phillips and Cam here send Eddie back to the big feet?
Yeah, absolutely. You do know that the big feet. Oh, the big feet. Your friend's big feet. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can go back there.
No, just send him to a Bigfoot colony. He lives amongst them now.
I was like, all right, what are we doing?
Eddie, we have to keep you safe.
Yeah, Eddie. All right, so you guys are going to yeah, that sounds good. Cam, they're pretty much gonna Cam and Phillips, they're gonna ask you to stay relatively where the cars are for this part, to like make sure that there's no contamination and that sort of stuff. Again, this has gotten a lot bigger. So yeah, let's go. Eddie, you drive back to the house where all the big feet, aka your companions, not actual monsters, are. We have Harriet, Esteban, Frank. Sean died.
Yeah, Sean
Beans.
Beans is the one who died in the
Yeah.
Blink Rex attack.
Yeah. Harriet had an English accent, right?
I think she was actually like relatively unaccented. I don't know. We can check the footage later.
Don't check the footage. I'm just gonna do whatever I want. Okay. Who do you want to talk to?
No, we didn't get to see anything of Esteban last time. I think I want to say that he is the one who is like the actual cryptid expert.
Yeah, Frank is the costume
Yeah.
guy.
Frank is the
Partner.
practicals. Harriet is the tech wizard.
Yeah.
And Esteban is ideas and support.
AKA Steve.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, guy. Okay, Esteban is, I'm gonna say, out in the backyard on a hammock. He has a book open and headphones in, and you're kind of approaching him from behind. Give him a little bit of a start as you so hey. Whoa, what's up? What can I do?
Me and Cam and Phil have been out in the woods and gonna want your opinion on the footage I left with Harriet. We got some. We figured out maybe what the stinky. Well, we didn't figure out what the stinky things are, but you might be able to help us with that.
Oh,
But we got some footage of
right.
them. But turns out there's a bigger beastie in the woods that is maybe scaring them away, and starts to describe kind of what we saw and learned.
He's like a real thing, or like, are you what is this? You
Well, so I think this might be something that actually goes bump in the night.
oh. Oh, and he's like, his eyes get really big, and he's like, all right, follow me. And you go back into the house, and he goes up to his room and opens the door, and it's just like all the books,
Mm-hmm.
and like charts on the wall and drawings and stuff. And he's like, okay, all right, go ahead, describe to me these you said they're what, like 5 foot, 4 foot tall. What are the
Oh yeah,
little things?
the stinky things. I mean, there's a little one that's about the size of a kid. They look like they're covered in vegetation. Um,
Okay.
the bigger ones, were they like full adult human size or just like a little bigger,
A little bit smaller. Yeah, I mean they're smaller
or
than
like a little bigger than the
people.
kid one?
Yes, yeah. Not like still human sized, but like a savvy sized person as opposed to a
Does Savvy know that you
Val
use them as
sized
a unit
person.
of measurement?
I do, because I'm in the middle. So Savvy's the small one, Val's the tall one, and I'm the
You're the
in the middle
Goldilocks.
one. I am. I mean, most people call me a unicorn, but that's okay. Let's go. He starts to look up some things. He pulls up a note. You see at the top of the book, there's an image, and I will post it on the Roll20 for you. He said, "Do they look like this?"
Is that what the little stinky cheese creatures look like from what we could see,
Uh,
or?
it seemed, I mean, pretty accurate. And then he kind of turns the page and is like, "Oh, okay. Maybe more like this." And you see this image.
Okay, so for the folks at home, these are kind of like, first one is a very like elongated image, and so my first thought was like a mean sloth. But the second one, which is more of like the creature standing upright, looks like a stinky trash gorilla. Um, some sharp teeth, primate features, but just there are flies buzzing all around this one.
Yeah, those are called a skunk ape.
Skunk ape, huh? Though that's not a particularly imaginative name, but certainly gets the image across.
Yeah, they're basically like the cousins to the Bigfoot. They're like, really nice things, but they're just like really smelly. So they usually just stick to swamps and stuff so people don't bother them.
Well, it seems like they are being bothered by whatever this other critter is.
Describe to me again. You said it's like snake?
We haven't seen anything of the creature itself, but we've seen its victims and the bite marks it leaves behind.
Oh, I mean, it could be a lot of things. There's a lot of snakes in mythology, especially in like the occult, you know, the serpent, biblical stuff.
All right, well, no, Cam didn't have any bells a ringing with any biblical serpents, but
Okay, well, I could do some research. There's a pretty good library in town. Oh, or if you want, you could go talk to that chick down at. mm, You could talk to the librarian, or looks at her notes. Did I not? Well, hold on. I know that I made one. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe that was my other game. Just kidding. You can go talk to. Sorry. You can go talk to. Hey, oh no, that's me. Where the fuck did I just had it? The librarian. Okay, Cynthia down at the library.
Sure. Do you think she knows anything in particular about spooky stuff, or
Oh, she loves the spooky stuff, especially local lore stuff. I'm more of like a big picture kind of guy.
right? And that's we certainly appreciate you for it, but
Mm.
okay, yeah. Now when you say that she's into the spooky stuff, is she the kind who like dresses in all black and has eyeliner and like her face is more piercings than not, or
Oh, no, no. She's like the librarian type, but like in the bedroom, real freaky stuff. Not that I would know from experience, but
right? I don't think I want to know one way or the other, but good on you if it is true, and if not, well, this is a small town, but it's not that small.
Right, right. Well, if you go see her, go say hi. Tell her I say hi.
And do.
All right, have a good one. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, I think that's it. Like I said, passed some of the footage along to Harriet of the skunk apes, and I guess just see what one's like in the flesh.
All right. Well, if it is the world-eating snake, you let me know, because if the world's gonna end, I gotta call some people.
Yeah, I don't think it's German gander or what you call it.
That was good in the accent. That was perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Listen, Alex knows Jormungandr, but Eddie who doesn't know.
Darmagander. All right. Do you think we should take our break now?
Yeah, we're about halfway through the evening, so probably a good time to take a break. So yeah, we are gonna go refresh ourselves, refresh snacks, beverages, stretch, etc., etc. So we'll be back in 5 to 15 minutes. Realistically, we tend to take longer breaks because we get chatting and just off on tangents. So if it's been a while, feel free to yell at us in the chat, tell us to come back. But we'll be back soon, so don't go nowhere.
Bye.
Hello, Internet, we're back! Did you miss us? Well, I was gonna say I hope you did, but that sounds kind of weird and manipulative.
Did you miss us?
Did you miss
Hello?
us? Ooh? Oh boy.
Today, is it enough? Should I do it again?
I got oatmeal in my mouth. You guys can't do this to me.
Please, Danae, we really want you to play with us. Hello? Okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Blacked out for a second there.
All right. Yes, we've taken our break. We are refreshed. We're ready to go. Let's get back to it.
All right. Eddie, you've been given instructions as to what the original creature probably is. And you have some information about the other creature. You have two people guarding the police that are taking these bodies away. And I'll say that as they, secure the crime scene and get the bodies out. Freaking cats are indecisive. Nothing seems to happen at this time. So you guys are kind of left. That they leave a ranger there, but mostly because of the drug stuff and because you guys are there. So they're I think Tactile. Are y'all fit to stay here for a while, or
How long
is
are
there-
you staying here?
Well, we were gonna get back and start looking at the evidence and doing all that sort of stuff. But this is a crime scene and we can't just leave you here.
Well, if we're keeping you held up, we can leave.
All right. Well, you all get back. Well, I'll drive out behind you, all right?
Oh, we don't have any more cars. Eddie took the car.
Well, then I shall escort you back to the station.
We have a
Not
cabin
Tactile.
here we need to get out of. You can just take us back to the park area stuff.
Right. Okay, I'll drop you off at the ranger station at the southern side.
If that's okay with you, Phil. Is there anything you need to do? We need to go to town? Actually, we might need to go to town.
Eddie, have you informed Phillips of what's going on?
Yeah, probably as I am like preparing to head to the library, would have texted Phil the photo from the book of the skunk apes, with a quick little description, and then said, heading to talk to Cynthia at library, expert on local lore.
All right. Phillips will show it to Cam. We should probably meet him at the library.
Oh, is the library on the way to the police station?
It's close enough. The town's like 3 inches big, so you could just get off at the police station and walk a block to the library. It's actually no. It's the I forgot I based this off of my hometown. The police station is connected to the Secretary of State, which is in the same complex as the library. It is literally right there.
Oh, well, that's very convenient then. Yeah.
And then the veterinary is like kind of connected to the back of that. Everything's right here.
So there's one building, and
Basically, yeah. There's one building on one side, one building on the other side. There's a fountain in the middle.
Mm.
And I have some choice pictures of me as a kid. I mean like a 19-year-old that I will show you guys. Just you guys. Go ahead. Yeah, so he can drop you off at the office or the police station, and you can walk over to the library.
All right. On the way there, I want to chat up. What's his name? Tact.
Sure.
Yeah. It's like, so Tact, you're a sheriff? That's an elected position?
Yes, it is.
So a popular guy around town.
I have the most experience and been working here the longest.
Is there any kind of training to be sheriff, or do you just run for it and then you're a sheriff and now you're in charge of solving crimes?
Well, I did go to police officer school when I was a youngin. I have done CPR training, some electives if it as it were.
Oh, what do they teach you at police officer school? How long is it?
Well, it's a 6-month training academy.
Ah.
They go through all the processes of how to interrogate, breach, talk to people. A lot of what we do is just kind of keeping the peace and helping people out. But we did go through weapons training, back training, horse training, all that sort of fun stuff.
Okay. You're confident with your ability to handle this current situation.
Yes, mostly because I probably won't be handling most of it because it is a wildlife problem, not an active murder scene.
Got it. Delegation.
Right. Yep.
All right. Well, it's very interesting to hear. It sounds like that must have been quite an ordeal for you to get to this position. I'm sure you're very proud of yourself for your accomplishments.
Sure am. Yeah. What Cam, I don't think I've ever heard you talk this much. Are you okay?
I'm fine. We keep bumping into each other, so I thought I should get to know you better.
Oh, I see. You're just trying to rub elbows. As the saying
Something
goes.
like that. Yes.
Right, all right. Yeah, no, it was I mean I became a police officer about 35 years ago now, and
Oh God.
sheriff for the last 10 years.
Interesting. Okay.
Feels like I've lived
35
many
years of
lives.
experience. I would have
did say
never have
I'm the most
guessed.
experienced. Well, my wife makes me dye the roots. Keep the hair
Oh,
looking
yes.
nice and
The age also. That did
fresh.
surprise me as well.
Thank you.
All right. Phil, any questions for Tact?
Not a one.
That's your name, right?
Yeah, tact, yes.
Hmm.
Short for tactious. It's Greek.
It's not.
Okay. Moving on. You're just trying to get in good with them, right? Okay. Okay. You guys get back to the police station. And Eddie, you're at are you waiting outside for them?
I'm just trying to think about like how long it would take for travel and stuff because it seems like they were still at the crime scene when I reported back on the skunk apes, so it was probably faster for me to get to the library and already go in and start talking before they got
Sure.
here. Yeah, because I especially well no, because we still relatively early in the day, given that we went to the crime scene like first thing in the morning almost.
Yeah, it's probably about noon, maybe afternoon because of investigation and such.
Yeah, so maybe maybe Eddie stopped for lunch before going to the
Yeah.
library, and so that way the timing works out.
Yeah. Did you go to the Royal Wolf, which is a mellow bar and grill? Or did you go to Knuckle Suckers, a crawfish kitchen and bar?
Oof. They're both bars, you say?
Oh, everything's a bar here.
Yeah. I feel like Eddie has he tries to make it seem casual, but he actually has like a fairly strict rotation that he keeps you of like visiting all the local haunts so that he is like seen and known by people. And so we'll say that today's rotation was Knuckle Suckers.
All right. Yeah, you go to the Knuckle Suckers, you hang out with Richard and Kate, who are the owners of the bar. Kate is significantly older than Richard, but still like the definition of a cougar. She looks great, and she really, I mean, Richard is a fairly good looking gent himself. He's not like 20, but he is at this point significantly younger. So yeah, I don't think anything of interest happens there unless you want to talk to them.
No. Just checking in with how's business been?
Mhm.
Got any special events happening soon?
Mhm. I think they're just like, we're just hyping up for the crawfish festival down in where's it?
Alexandria?
Yeah, I was like, where am I? To zoom out of the map. Yeah, for special events that are down there. Got to work on their recipe, so if you have any notes, they'll take it.
Eddie probably has some insight he can offer into the preparation of crawfish. Alex has no idea.
You do it just like a crab bake. You throw them in there alive and do their thing.
Yeah, add spices and such.
Hmm.
Fuliosis. All right. Then you head over to the library, where you see your friends heading out. Tact takes off his hat as he enters the police station.
Howdy, y'all. I saved you some extra craws.
Hmm?
Wasn't sure if you got the chance to eat yet, but ordered some extra food for you. Or I guess more for Phil.
Tact can have mine.
Well, maybe we'll stop by the police station afterwards.
It's crawfish.
Yeah, and
Like,
probably some kind of side as well.
All right.
No, computer, don't restart right now. I'm busy.
It's probably corn, right? If it's a crawfish boil, they're boiling with like corn and potatoes
Yeah,
and that kind
corn,
of stuff.
potatoes, whole
Motherfucker.
cloves of garlic.
There is a place directly across the street from my home that has just like Cajun style, like all like the bags. You have to cut it open and like do all the crab legs and
Ugh, it's incredible.
all this
Chunks of
seasoning.
potato.
All the corn, little corn bits.
Yeah, he eats all of the sides first, and then you see him like pull out his BlackBerry. If you look over his shoulder, he literally just Googles how to eat crawfish.
Yeah, that's an odd one to take on the go and then eat like outside of a library. Like you don't have the forks or anything for it. You're just like, what do I do? You don't have like the crackers.
You just gotta like tear him in half,
Yeah.
and then you suck the meat out of the carcass.
Out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you guys make your way into the library.
Oh,
yeah.
Still covered in.
Eddie would have brought an
like
extra
Old
bib.
Bay season.
Yeah.
He goes straight for the bathroom to wash off.
Yeah. The other two of you approach the desk. You see a woman with her hair beautifully sort of like pinned up. It's like wavy and curly and like pinned under. She's got glasses, high-waisted skirt on, and like sort of a fluffy, flowy top. And she turns to look at you guys. Have any of you guys been to the library before?
I mean, in being here for, I think I've said at least 6 months, probably at least once. Again, just in the interest of trying to get to know all the notable locals.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely have not.
Okay. Well, you guys make your way inside, and the librarian has like too many books in her hand, and she like, how can I help you all?
Well, howdy. I assume this is Cynthia?
Yes. See on her name tag. She shifts the books onto the table and like gently like pushes them so that they're not falling over on her.
Do you need a hand with that, Cynthia?
Oh no, I can manage. Thank you.
That's good to hear. I like a capable woman. Just came back from speaking with my associate, Esteban. Steve, he says hello.
Oh, you know Esteban.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of work together.
You see like a very deep blush go over her cheeks. Um, well, tell him I say hello back, and you should call me sometime.
That I can do. Um, but as much as I would like to just talk your ear off, he did say that you might be able to help us with something.
Of course. Are you researching for something?
You might say that. How much has Esteban told you about the kind of work that we do?
Oh, I don't know what kind of work he does, but I do know he's very interested in the occult and cryptids and all sorts of mythological creatures. I just find it fascinating.
Right. Well, that is precisely what I wanted to pick your ear about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You know, Esteban is obviously our expert on that, but sometimes gets me interested in a thing or two, and gives me ideas for some art projects that I might
Oh,
do. Um, and so got me thinking about something about you know, like to take inspiration from the local surroundings, and
mm.
was wondering if you knew anything about some uh, local myths lore about some kind of snake creature in the area.
Oh, a snake creature in the area. Well, of course we have those water snakes and the anacondas. But are you talking more along the lines of like a mythological, like the swamp thing, but with a snake tail?
I mean, maybe it's got a snake tail, but yeah, something that is, wouldn't find in a biology textbook.
I,
Oh,
I'm
I see.
just so it's gonna do bites, and it's gonna be venomous to some extent with a
Oh.
tooth maybe about this long, and I'm gonna like point to her where one of the bodies were like the fangs were in, like about 4 inches, and be like it'd be about like here and here.
Oh. Oh, well, I do have some local lore. Are you sure it's a snake? There are some creatures that have fairly large canines that live in swamps.
I
Or
mean,
are, of course, mythologically speaking, they're live in swamps.
of course,
You
yeah,
jumped to the conclusion on snakes.
yeah.
Oh.
It's just it came to me in a vision that the bite marks like my friend Cam here was
Mm.
talking about. Part of my manners. This is Cam. This is my cousin Phil. Phil, Cam,
Phil comes out of the
Cynthia.
Lovely to
bathroom.
meet you. Cynthia.
But yeah, was thinking about something for the bites. Was thinking maybe trying to if I might be able to replicate fabricate a skull of this critter, but knowing
Oh.
what it might be from would help with putting together the bits and bobs.
Right. So it's more of a sculpture's your medium.
It can be, yeah. It's lots of uh yeah, I suppose sculpture might be a good way of saying it. I like to create the effect.
All right. Yeah. Well, if you just take a seat, I can pull some books for you. I have a couple of ideas.
Sure, that will be wonderful.
All right. She kind of leads you over to a table, and you see her kind of like brushing off her skirt as she. All right. Well, just wait right here. I'll find some books for you. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. This isn't a shushing library, you know. So just relax, and I'll be right back.
Thank you kindly.
Should we have told her that the creature is not interested in cocaine in any way? Or is that information useless?
I mean, one, we don't know that it was cocaine that they found. Two, maybe it sampled a little something. I mean, Cam, I know you haven't seen this because you're not really on the internet. Phil, have you seen trailers for that new movie Cocaine Bear? I promise this is an actual thing. If you haven't seen the trailers for it yet, go look it up.
I'm trying to decide whether or not Philip would have.
Yes,
I'd
you would have
heard of
gotten
it.
information on it at some point.
Yeah, no, I'd heard of it. Fairly certain it's a work of fiction.
I mean, the trailer said it's based on real events, but, you know,
No, that
who's
rarely
checking
means
that?
that it's a one-to-one interpretation.
Fair enough. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know that myth lore usually delves into, you know, the cryptid's drug of choice. Maybe maybe we should start putting that information together.
Speaking of which, Cam, did you finish Paradise Lost yet?
It's
I guess
literally
I've
been a
just been
day.
listening to it, right? Like,
Mhm.
probably I would have.
Like on
yeah.
on fast forward with your
Yeah.
angelic ears. Excellent. It's convenient that we're here because I had some more reading for you.
Hmm,
He's gonna put
really
like a bunch
milking
of
this.
he's gonna put a bunch of CDs on the desk, and it's just the entire Chronicles of Narnia.
Now this one is an allegory. You see, Cynthia comes back, and she has like probably the 3 or 4 books, places them on the table, and kind of pushes up her glasses. Oh, who's reading the Chronicles of Narnia? You know, that's an allegory for the Bible, is what they say. I don't know
I've
how
heard that.
accurate it is.
My impression is not very, but
Well, from what I've read, the final battle is very well, I feel like maybe C.S. Lewis goes off the path a little bit on that one, but I think the other ones are quite fun.
mhm.
Yeah, the magician's nephew gets a little bit weird as well, but the horse and his boy is good, and of course,
The
Lion
what?
Witch and the Rower. The magician's nephew,
What's the next one?
the horse and his boy.
The horse and his boy.
Isn't
Okay,
that the
maybe-
first one?
No,
is it?
that's the that's I believe it's like the third one. It depends on if you're talking chronologically or if you're talking the order that they were written.
Yeah, because they're all they're way off chronologically as to the
Yeah.
order.
Oh yeah, the third. Yep, sorry.
Like I'm pretty sure Magician's Nephew was written like second to last.
Yeah, but in the Chronicles, it's the first.
Yes,
Then
it's
it's
the
Lion, the Witch,
first.
and the Wardrobe. Then the horse.
Then Lion, the
Horse
Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Boy,
Then the Horse and His Boy. Then Prince Caspian. Then Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Then
which is great.
Silver Chair. And
which is
then
weird. The last battle, which is weird.
It's a Revelations allegory. It's not.
It sure is.
is.
It sure is. All right. So I found a few interesting creatures. I know of a few, and so this one is a bunyip. Usually they're found in swamps, riverbed, creeks, and whatnot. They kind of, as far as what they are, what they look like, it's fairly up to interpretation. Usually they're found in southern Australia, but it's hard to say. You know how these things do travel. Like that whole Bigfoot thing that's happening here now. That seems pretty silly. Bigfoot usually in forests, not in swamps, you know. Probably something more like a skunk ape or something like that would be down here. We also have the Groot slang. The Groot slang is a very, very large serpent, elephant-like creature with a serpent tail. Usually found in South Africa as well, but it is a freshwater critter. So maybe something like that. And beyond that, you have creatures like, and most people don't know this, but something like the Hydra does end up in a swamp. From Greek mythology, of course, those are usually found in Greece, sort of things. But it was found in a swamp by Hercules, so I thought maybe that would help.
So Hydra, elephant, snake, and what was the first one?
It's called a bunyip. Like a bunny.
Mhm.
A yip. Bunyip. But I'll
And
let
they're
you-
all known to kill.
Oh, you're muted.
The bunyip is usually found in Australia.
Yes. But again, mythological creatures, it's interesting for them to. Most of the lore that we have in this sort of specific area is a lot to do with like Swamp Thing and, of course, the skunk apes and that sort of thing. Although the skunk apes really have been from Florida for the most part, but we've heard tell of them up here as well. But I've brought you books, so if you want to do some research yourself, I more than let you stay the time. We close at 5, so you have the day if you like. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask.
All right. Thank you very much, Cynthia.
Thank you. And she kind of like toddles off. You
Well.
guys would like.
Yes, let's get cracking at the books.
What are we trying to learn here?
What bit them fellers out there?
Which one of these is poisonous, would you say?
I guess we have to read.
Yes, you have to read. The
All right.
horror. All right. Do you guys want to do some investigatos?
I think so.
We
Sure
can.
enough.
Can more than one person help out in a role?
Not more than one person can help, but more than one person can investigate. You can just investigate different things.
Just each take a book and read it.
Yeah. Sure.
I want elephant snake.
All right.
The elephant snake.
That was the Groot slang.
It's called a Groot slang, yeah.
Groot slang.
Is that Groot in his teenage years?
Nasty.
All right. Rolling plus sharp. Okay, I got an 8 on my investigative mystery.
Okay, what are you investigating?
I don't know. Does Phil have strong feelings on either the Bunyip or the Hydra?
I have no strong feelings.
All right. I like the idea of Eddie reading about the Bunyip.
All right, I'll take the Hydra then.
All right. Let me look at the rolls. All right, we will start. Alex, you have rolled an 8. You get to ask one question about the Bunyip.
Yeah. I guess maybe what can it do? Because I'm still trying to figure out in my head, like, is this a creature that could conceivably have done this? Like, I know Cynthia said that she was thinking about creatures with big canines or canids. I don't know which one would be the proper term for talking about the teeth, but in my mind, it's just this little bunny creature. So trying to figure out could this be the monster in the first place?
Yeah, so you kind of look more into this creature. You read along the lines. There's some debate over its origin. It was mostly found in like the 1800s in Australia. You start to see more of the skulls and the reported remains that were found about this creature. And as you continue to look through, you see that the skull is fairly bulbous, like a human skull is. The teeth seem to be more uniform across the way, as opposed to at least in the depictions that you're seeing. And you see that mostly they are evil spirits that go after kind people.
Yeah, I don't think this one's it, especially if one of our boys was running drugs.
Wings, you get 2 questions about the. Which one did you get? The Hydra?
I got the Hydra.
And then, David, you have 1 question about the elephant. The
Groot slang.
I have so many windows open right now. The Groot slang.
You go first, David.
Okay. Yeah, just reading about it, does this thing seem like it matches up at all beyond just a superficial? It's got a snake tail.
All right. Yeah. So you keep reading. You notice that it is a. It's called. It is described as a huge elephant-sized serpent that dwells in a cave. Known as the Wonder Hole or the Bottomless Pit. Supposedly, the cave connects to the sea. So it's possible that this is something that's close. It's let me see. It is from South Africa. And it's they're normally associated with pythons. It talks about how, like, as they look like pythons. It talks about how deadly they are, but you don't see any mention of poisons or them working in pairs or like in groups. They're very solitary creatures.
Okay.
All right. Regarding the Hydra, I'm going to ask, what can it do and what can hurt it?
All right. So Greek mythology, hydras, they are, as you'd expect, cut off one head, two more grow. They usually get along, the heads get along well enough. There is one larger head that sort of commands the group. They indeed are from lakes and are known to be in swamps. It talks about the second labor of Hercules and how Hercules had to have a flaming sword to kill it, to sever the heads and cauterize as he goes. And then it says that they have a poisonous bite and a poisonous aura about them.
This is the only one that we found that mentions poison.
Yeah,
All right.
elephant snake didn't.
All right. Well, it seems that of the possibilities that we've researched, this is the most likely one.
Rat.
Greek indeed.
I didn't think there was really a Greek presence in Louisiana. I know there's a big old French presence. But
It's not
I
a
mean,
large Greek presence, but it's at
Tax
least
claims
one.
to have a Greek name, so
yeah,
maybe his mom bought it over.
suppose that's true.
It's not. So
Well, correlation
what
does not
happened.
necessarily mean causation. Could just be a coincidence.
Yeah, and I guess I'm still new to all this business. But I don't know. You read some stories where it's like, oh, the creatures of myth don't physically move around, but they do just kind of appear where people are. There's enough of a belief or a fear or something.
It's an interesting theory. Suppose it depends on what kind of creature it is.
Yeah.
It's gonna kind of raise an eyebrow at Cam. And then he'll say, Cam, tell me about your sword.
It kills anything.
Interesting. What properties does it have?
It has anything that kills what it can kill. I mean, it's on fire and it's a sword, but specifically, it is everything in this mortal world can be killed by it. So
Is this
if
a metaphorical flame or a literal one?
it's an actual flame, but
So
on top of that, if, like, for example, it's not made of silver, if something can only be killed by silver, the sword can still kill it. It can just kill anything. I mean, you
Interesting.
still have to stab it and kill it. Like, it's not like you touch it with the sword and it dies, but
I'm
yeah.
more concerned about whether or not it can cauterize a wound.
Suspect that, I mean, it's a flame. It's on fire. So
I suppose we'll find out.
I am a bit concerned about this poisonous aura.
mhm.
What exactly is that gonna mean? Because we're talking about in like hushing down and making sure Cynthia isn't too close for this, but we're talking about, loading up to bear. I've got a rifle and a 38 and a baseball bat, so I imagine if we're actually going toe to toe with any beasties, I'll be a bit far back, but we could smell the skunk apes for maybe miles. I don't imagine Hydra's gonna have an aura that big, but we should figure out something for that.
Well, I think we've got our method of disposal figured out. It's more going to be about trying to find the creature.
Ooh, what about those traps and stuff? Maybe like the Simon's net gun or whatever. Did we manage to snag that? Or any nets? We could just buy nets.
Sure.
People could hold it down or something, and I could chop heads off.
Not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, we may wanna. I don't know how much we could rig up something with the gear that we already have. Is like practice run against the Hydra.
I mean, it's going to be big, probably, right?
Probably. I mean, if we're thinking about like trying to remember how far apart like the teeth bites are,
Yeah,
and it's
thinking
like
about the fangs.
Kevin's like, okay, well, if they're like this far apart, it's probably like this big, but if they're this far apart, then it's, and then eventually is like standing up on chairs, trying to like
Yeah, and that's just
guesstimate
like
how
one of
large
the
it might be.
heads. There's going to be a bunch. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe just like a grappling hook and some rope. Like if both of you have something like that, might snag the thing and try and hold it down somewhere, tie it to a tree.
Maybe
Easy enough.
Now, if you are like, how impervious to damage are you? Like, how much of a beating can you take? And you know about poison.
I mean, I am in a fleshy body at the moment, so I imagine it can be killed. My suit offers some amount of divine protection, but yeah, I'm just other than that, very, relatively mortal. If God decides to bring me back to life or not, that's up to him.
There's an awful lot of faith that you put in the big fella.
Of course. I was created to have faith in him. You people are the ones who get to doubt. Anyways, so go kill a Hydra in a swamp so skunk apes can move back into their home.
Right, and stop being a nuisance, adorable as they are for the locals.
Yeah. I get some kind of reward from God for being so compassionate towards these weird skunk monsters. And also Simon, who we didn't kill.
Right, yeah, we did not kill him. Just remember because the message that he'd been recovered came in at like 2 a.m. Did Phil ever share that with us, or is Simon still just an unknown for two of us at least?
LB.
Oh, that's up to you if you shared it or not.
Oh. Yeah, no, I didn't tell nobody about that. I just assured them that they were that they weren't going to be an issue.
All right, well, yes,
I think we saved, honestly, out of character, I think we saved Simon's life.
probably.
my biggest concern is going to be this poison situation.
Right, exactly.
We have no way of knowing what's sort of venom this creature has.
Mhm. You need to distance. Maybe you guys could get harpoon guns.
I mean, I told you I got a hunting rifle.
Yeah. I think we're pretty well covered as far as weaponry goes. Let's head out there and set up some traps.
All right. As you guys are leaving, I think Cynthia kind of like looks to make sure that you guys aren't if you need to check out any books. She's like, well, what did you guys decide on?
Narnia.
Oh, good. Yeah, I meant with the mythological creatures.
Oh, I think of these that the Hydra is the one that seems most likely to actually, seems like would be the best fit for
Oh.
around here.
Right. The keepers of the entrance to hell.
Say again.
Well, Hades. Yeah. Well, they were said to have, entrances to the underworld. They would guard it in some sort of way.
I didn't catch that in my reading.
Oh, that was supposed to be Cerberus.
Well, yes, of course, Cerberus is deep down inside, but he doesn't sit on the surface. And there are a lot of entrances to the underworld, as far as I'm aware. I'm just
Touch
saying
his
it
ear.
can pop out anywhere. It doesn't necessarily need to be in Greece. That makes a lot of sense. Y'all are some intelligent people.
Thank you.
Of course.
Touch
Well,
his
y'all
ear.
come back now. It's lovely to meet all y'all. Bye. You guys are so bad. Just give me a we leave, okay?
Oh,
Phyllis doesn't say goodbye. He just goes.
You guys exit the library. Where are you guys going now? You're just going to gear up? We have a
Mhm.
gearing up montage?
Yeah.
Are you going to want to go there at night or during the day?
I mean, like, the attack happened at night, right?
Well, you have no idea.
We don't know.
The
God,
killing,
fuck.
you don't know.
Okay.
The skunk people come out at night.
hmm
Well, I'm gonna say we set up the traps during the day,
hmm
and then
Mhm.
maybe we wait around throughout the night for something to happen. We can set up traps that we got from Simon, and we can set up cameras. We already know what the skunk apes are, so like we can go and like retrieve those cameras and set them up in advantageous strategic areas of the swamp.
hmm
And like hopefully we'll be able to triangulate the location of this thing eventually. And hopefully it gets caught in a trap, and hopefully Cam can kill it before he gets poisoned to death.
All right. So, gearing up montage is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna Home Alone this bitch.
Gonna need a montage.
Motherfucking montage. Do you want a montage? Simon, you can't sit directly behind me. He likes to yell at me and then sit directly behind me so that I can't scoot my chair back because he'll run away. Yeah. Okay. All right. Gearing up montage. So you guys are going to the bodies were found in sort of the section that is more water than land. So if you want to set up things in trees, if you want to set up items like if you want to do like get a bunch of boats and put them out there. I think the only issue is you're gonna have to sneak past the rangers to like get more into, and you're gonna have to maneuver your way through the swamp / bayou. That makes sense.
Decoy boats.
Need a fan boat.
Yes. Well, a fan boat might be. Well, yeah. If you get deeper into it, yeah, because that opens up, and the fan boats are huge. This is like where you found the body. There was a lot of
Hmm.
the trees closer together, but
Yeah, okay.
all right.
Let's do that.
Let's do. You guys will go to. Let's go to a. Let's go to the one of the locations. They the convenience store, family standard. You walk in to adorn yourselves with all of the needs that you will, unless you want to go into town, like town to like go to like a Dick's Hardware or a Dick's Sporting Goods or a Home Depot sort of thing. Otherwise, the family standard has things that you might need.
Yeah, probably just stick with the family standard for now.
All right. All right, you walk inside, you smell the fresh scent of boiled Cajun peanuts. Fresh at the front of the store, where you could just get a cup and spoon them out. There you are greeted by the one of the owners, which is Linda Smokeburn. She kind of comes up. She's the I would say probably like 5'6", brown curly hair, very happy to see everyone, just the kind heart. She would recognize all of you at least, and just give a warm, well, hey everybody, how's what can I help you with today?
Afternoon, Linda.
I
We
don't usually see y'all in this kind of group.
no, but thinking about working on the next project. Um, and
Oh.
was wondering if you had anything in the way of uh nets or some little bit of hardware. Nothing too major. It's not like we're trying to build a shed or anything, but
Course. Well, Linda's out, or Karen's out in the more the recreational section if you need your guns, your ammo, and fishing sort of gear. If you want to head back that way.
yeah, sounds like that might be the place to go.
All right. Can I offer you guys any sort of snacks to go? We're
Think
having a special on Lay's potato chips. It's buy one get one right now, but it's the big bags.
well, we'll see
Hmm.
because I think Eddie like just almost automatically went for the peanuts available at the front. He's like,
Uh-huh.
"Yep, we'll see if I'm still hungry enough to want to leave with some snacks after this."
All right. Pam, what do you think?
Do you have anything that would be like a good python trap, like a big python that's in like trees and stuff?
Oh,
Anything like that?
well, I don't right know what pythons eat besides possums and raccoons. We have some squirrel meat.
Hmm. I mean, interesting. Sure. I'll take squirrel meat.
All right. What would she refer to you as, Wiggs?
Probably Phil. That's what
Phil?
everybody else in this group calls him. He doesn't respond right away because that's not his name, and then he's like, "Oh, yeah. Hey."
Is there anything I can get you while you're here?
Gonna kind of like look around. Not necessarily.
All right. Well, what?
Pull like a candy bar off of the like impulse buy rack and just sort of smack it down.
All right, you guys
Doesn't even look at it.
Charges you the $1.25 apparently that it is here, and you make your way back to the hardware / hunting section with Linda's wife Karen, who is back there, and Karen Smokeworm, and she is looking at the gun rack that they have back there. She's like probably 6'2", stockier build. You could see her shoulder muscles coming through her tank top, and she got short blonde hair and kind of turns back to you guys. And well, how can I help y'all? It's good to see y'all here. Looking to go hunting? Eddie, you need some more bullets?
I might need to stock up, but yeah. We were thinking of doing something that might require a bit of, I guess some trapping. Um, help us. We don't want to be chasing down, um, all the dang time. So, some strong nets.
All right.
Maybe
Are
some.
you looking for like gopher traps or spring-loaded traps? What exactly are you hunting?
Thinks like a big python, but not that.
Oh, well, if you're hunting a python, you're gonna be hunting in the water, right?
Most likely, yeah.
So I guess depending on the size, you could use a fish trap or a water snake trap would help. It just depends on the size of the thing. You could build one yourselves if you're thinking about it, depending on how large you're talking about. All you need are some PVC, some netting. You'll have to make a sort of a funnel on one side to lure the creature in, put some bait inside. And a trapping mechanism is usually a spring-loaded one. If you want to get fancy with it, you could gut one of the ones that we have, or you could, engineer one yourselves if that's what you're interested in. What are you doing?
Phil, Eddie, either of you good at making python traps?
I mean, sounds like something that me and the crew might be able to put together, but I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to transport the sucker.
I could take it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, once we kind of like glancing at Karen, once we get out there, yeah, you are a strong, strapping fellow. You might be able to carry it. All right. Well, I guess we'll get some of this and we'll put something together back home.
All right. If you have any questions or need any help, just let me know. We're here for you. I always like to have
Appreciate that.
our happy customers.
Of course.
You wouldn't happen to know how to set a sword on fire, would you?
Like for an extended period of time?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple things you can do. Are you talking about you could do the unsafe way would be to do it with gasoline, but there are gels that you can get that keep things alight. Are you talking about for like
Yeah.
pictures?
I'm talking about for using flaming swords.
In pictures, yes.
Right. Well, I can't.
I thought you said that
condone
your sword
any-
flamed on its own.
It does. I thought maybe other people might want flaming swords.
For the group photo that we're working on, right? Remember, Phil? That's part of why we're here.
I don't think I want to be anywhere near your flaming sword or anything else that's happening around that flaming sword.
I'm talking about my flaming sword or Eddie's flaming sword.
I feel like
Assuming
there's some
we get him a
euphemisms
flaming
going
sword.
on here that I'm unaware of.
They're not. They're not. Literal flaming swords.
Look, what y'all do in your bedroom is what you. I just. Is there anything more you need from me?
Yeah, some of that flaming jelly or whatever you said.
Oh, yeah, we don't have that here.
Where would I get it?
A prop shop, maybe in Georgia. They have a lot of that.
In Georgia? All right.
Right,
Well-
because they use it on when they make movies and stuff. They light people on fire. They use the gel. that keeps it's like a fuel that keeps it lit, but it doesn't quite burn through whatever fabric it is they're using, which is usually a fire safe fabric.
Interesting. So the gel is flammable itself.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
My dude. Stop playing with my hair. Speaking
You
of hair,
guys, I'm going to go look into getting some of that gel. Anywhere specific in Georgia. Georgia's a big place.
well, I was thinking in Atlanta where they do all the movies and such.
They do. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of filming that happens in Georgia.
Yeah. We might want to before you
Lots of CW shows.
before you just start heading out for Georgia, Cam, we may want to go back, ask Harry to look up some places, help narrow down your search. But sounds like Georgia
Oh,
would be
good.
the place to go.
Good thinking. Well, I'll secure some funds first.
All right.
You guys go do that.
Okay. All right. So are you getting the supplies to make your own net? Your own trap?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, still don't really have much of a sense of how big this Hydra is gonna be. Because if we're talking like Disney's Hercules Hydra, that's real big. But
Mm-hmm.
um,
Well, you could surmise from the teeth. It's probably the head is probably the size of a cat's body. Of one of them.
It's just now occurred to me. If he's protecting the gate to hell, then that means the smugglers got close to the gate to hell. Which means we need to find the gate to hell.
Oh, I was gonna say the devil wanted some cocaine, but
Or the devil doesn't approve of cocaine.
drugs
He only
in their
likes
hell?
lettuce?
Certainly not.
yeah, that would make hell more enjoyable.
Incredible.
Oh, we got a sleepy kitten. Sleepy cat alert. I guess that's just your life now, LB.
I know, he's like I tucked his legs under so he wouldn't like freak out, and he's just passed out.
Well,
Just like, all right.
He was playing with my hair behind the chair and then like trying to like run off of me, and now he's just asleep. It's like having a toddler. Good boy. Okay. So you guys are going. We got a gearing up montage, a trap laying montage ahead of us. I think this is a good spot to end for the night, so we can do our stars and wishes.
Yeah.
Because we got a fun episode ahead, and I want to start to finish that. So yeah, thank you guys for playing with me. Thanks for playing in my game and investigating this mystery. Let's do stars and wishes for everybody, since that's always a fun thing to do.
Okay. Stars and wishes.
I'm actively trying to talk my brother out of getting my other brother's children 1 nunchucks and 2 a bow and arrow set, because my other brother said anything sports related.
Okay, the bow and arrow, I mean, maybe if it's all like, plungers at the tip of the arrows, maybe.
Yeah.
And then nunchucks, I mean, so me and my brothers, we did actual martial arts and learned how to use them.
Yeah.
But we also had
he's a hockey guy.
Yeah, no, we had the padded nunchucks that like wouldn't really hurt too much if you hit each other with. Because I mean, you
And now
have
he's
to
saying
assume
boxing.
that the kids are gonna smack each other with whatever they get.
Right. Okay. Let's do stars and wishes
Yeah.
so I can put out this fire.
Stars and wishes. Anyone got some ready to go?
I think Star, I'm gonna go for LB on just the NPCs. I'm liking this rollout, this consistent rollout of fun NPCs.
Thank
It's
you.
really good. And yeah, that you just have everyone's like names and stuff ready to go. Very different than how I do NPCs. So it is
Thank
fun
you.
to see.
Honestly, I have a list. I just like
Mhm.
made a list of people.
Hey, it's working.
Thank you.
And wish is to see everyone with flaming swords in the next one. I just want a bunch of, I'm gonna go back to the Vatican, get all those swords.
Look, I'll do some research.
I
I know a little bit. It's one of those things where it's like I know a little bit about a lot of things. I know
Mhm.
enough where I could like bullshit my way into making, but I know there are actual ways to do this and I can look
Yeah.
into it. Okay. Thank you for that. Who's next?
I can go. I think for me, my star is gonna go to uh David for Cam's attempt to socialize with tact. Because I mean, it kind of surprised me a little bit, but it was kind of like, oh, okay, so this is Cam clearly sees some need to maintain this relationship, and this is, I guess Cam's attempt at being normal and socializing, and it didn't go terribly. So,
I think it went well.
we'll see how that goes in the future. But forget. I, did I just make that my star last time? No. So last time was about Cam's straightforwardness and trying to be compassionate, but I do wanna. I like seeing Cam trying to people.
Yeah. It's nice. What's your wish?
I wish. I want to see Philip's agency. Something with the agency, whether that's Phillips calls on them or they're like, "Hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z." Um, something with them. They've been on the edges for a bit. Let's see them have a more direct impact. Um, but also still somehow keeping Eddie from figuring out you're a Men in Black.
I like that. All right. My star is going to Eddie. Because I feel like we got more opportunity to see his southern side. He got to talk more, so we got to hear some more of his voice and his accent, and that was very fun. The way that he beelined for those boiled peanuts was very good. I liked that. My wish is also for the agency to get involved in some way. I could probably call on them for help
You
in a
could.
certain look. Certain like it depends on how poorly this all goes.
Mhm.
Or you could ask them for flaming swords.
I
Maybe they have lightsabers.
You don't know.
could ask them for Hydra anti-venom is what I could ask for them for. I feel like
Ooh.
that's more relevant.
Probably.
Prevalent. I have a move that I do whenever I deal with the agency. So maybe that's how we start the next game is me getting a dead drop.
All right. My star. I think. Let me. My star. I liked that you guys. I always like the research scenes. That makes me happy. Getting you guys are like getting interested in like the town in general and like the people who live there. I do enjoy doing NPCs, and even though sometimes I don't remember what split decision accent I give them, I do like I have notes on all of them and like their little things. But so I'm glad that you guys are engaging with them and giving them more depth and that. So thank you for that. My wish, this might be telling as to what we're gonna do. I want to see you guys fight, and I want to see how you deal with this maybe not so straightforward fight that you're gonna get into. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, that's it for this game for this evening. So do you want to give what the next weeks are gonna
Or
look
should we
like?
do XP?
Oh
End of
right, of
session
course. Sorry.
questions?
End of session questions. All right. Did we solve the mystery?
Nope.
Did we learn something new or interesting about the world?
There's apparently a Hydra and maybe an entrance to hell in Kisatchie National Forest.
All right. Did you learn something new or exciting about the players?
The hunters. No, that we really learned anything new. Like, we got to see more of them,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know that there was really anything new per se. But you two can chime in as well, obviously.
Thanks, Simon.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I don't think anything that's like new in terms of character development
Okay.
type of thing or background. Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
And did I ask if we concluded the current mystery?
Yeah, I think that was the first one, but we did not save anyone from certain death or worse.
That's it. Where did I put that? Did I put it somewhere?
Don't know if it's in the Roll20, but
I will add it.
done enough Monster of the Weeks that I
Yeah,
mostly
right.
remember them at this point.
All right. So you guys did you save somebody from certain death or harm?
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe Simon, but not
Unless you
certain.
count Simon.
That's true. That's true. You are on your way to do so. You answered at least 2 yeses. So you get 1 XP moving forward. I know that a couple of you have
I get
leveled
an
up.
improvement. Woo!
Yay!
What do I get to pick from? Stats,
Sorry,
another
Danae.
crooked move.
Fail more.
Oh, that's okay. That's what I get for playing with my hand close to my chest.
Mm-hmm. Gonna have to look at either crooked moves or maybe I'll take a move from another playbook.
To be fair, I
Alright.
haven't even gotten a chance to use most of the stuff I do have.
Right.
So I don't feel the need to advance at this point.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, just think about what you want to do. Just let me know. I ask that if you are going to take a move from another playbook, don't take it from another playbook that is currently in use. Yeah. So that's
Okay.
it for me for this session.
Coolio.
Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for playing my silly game.
Yeah, thanks for
lot
running
of
it.
Do it
fun.
again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and sign off soon. Next scheduled stream is this Thursday for more Monster of the Week, our Elegant Creatures game. Last week we had a one-shot that Wally ran us in, so if you want to see Wally run a game, you can check that out. It should be on YouTube soon if it's not already. But we should probably be back to the regularly scheduled story with that. But yeah, follow us on the socials so that you know when we're doing stuff. I always forget to plug it, but we do have a merch store where you can buy shirts and hoodies and stickers and mugs that usually just have, you know, the really stupid things we've said in the spur of the moment on a show. But that helps out the channel. It especially helps with getting character art for the various shows and stuff. Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for us tonight. So, until next time, good games and good night, Internet.
Good night, everybody.